Well, thank you, Mr. Whitaker. I tell you what, I am thankful that you guys have the leader you have in Principal Whitaker. He's an incredible encourager and a wonderful man. And it's a privilege every day to get to share this ministry with him. I also want to thank the praise team. You brought a spirit of worship in a powerful way, and I love the way you use your gifts to glorify him, so thank you. Now, I understand there was a little bit of a mix-up. Some of you thought that Coach Smith would be speaking today, so I'm here to disappoint you personally. It's me and not Coach Smith, but thank you for being here anyway. I've figured out a thing that I think can work for me, because since we have the same last name and things, we've gotten each other's emails and things. So I'm thinking if somebody asks me why I haven't responded to an email, I might say, maybe that went to Coach Smith. I don't know. Could have. So I might work that a little bit, but probably not. So I am thankful to get to be with you today, especially at the start of the school year. If you would help me out with something, if I've had maybe a quick conversation, we've at least met, said hello, would you raise your hand for me? So, okay, all right. A few people are going to deny me, but that's okay. All right. Now, thank you. That helps me know how much I've been circulating, and I'm looking forward to getting to know you guys more deeply as the year goes on. So I'm excited you're here. I believe that it is absolutely on purpose and intentional that you're here at this time in your life and at this time in the school's history. We're going places, and with your leadership, I know we can go big places in kingdom terms. So I'm excited for what God has in store for you. I don't know all of what that is. I might have an idea or two, but I can't wait to see how that plays out this year if you're a senior in particular, and throughout your time at TCA. Yeah, go seniors, go seniors. So, yeah. So Mr. Whitaker already said this, but I'm loving coming to athletic events. I would hate to be on the other side of that net when our volleyball team takes the floor. I mean, I've never seen people move that quick. I really haven't. I get a little dizzy watching you, but it's a lot of fun. Cross country dominating the last meet. Excellent. I can't wait for the first home football game. I was so impressed in the short time I had to observe student council and National Honor Society officers. Your leaders are strong, and I saw your leaders seeking the Lord. And I know that God is going to bless that. You know, I came to TCA because I really believe that God sent me here. You've heard people say that, I'm sure. God called me to, God sent me to. Maybe somebody's come to you and said, I think God wants you to. And sometimes I need to fact check that person and say, well, I'm not sure I heard that same message, but maybe I did. But one thing I know for certain is I feel deeply called to be at TCA, and deeply thankful. No other explanation for why I would be here, but I am so excited to get started with you guys. Mr. Whitaker was very nice in his introduction to me, and most of that was so long ago, it's very hard to fact check. So I'm glad of that, and no point in even trying, so don't. But a little bit more about me. There's not a stunt you can pull or a dumb thing you can do that I didn't invent, okay, or at least perfect. So I would like to see you. I smiled at that. Some of that is not worth smiling over. Some of it was mischief, it was. But I would like to see you avoid some of those things so you don't learn some of the lessons the way I learned them. That'd be a good thing. You know, along the way, I was president of my senior class and student government, things like that over the years. And I love that kind of thing. I was high school state champion in track and field, which is, again, is so long ago you can't fact check it. But I learned a lot, and I was very blessed. The point is, I used to be cool, okay? I promise. I promise I used to be cool. You can ask my mother, who's 90 years old, and she will take up for me and tell you that I used to be cool a long time ago. So we get to know each other. I hope you'll see that I'm the fun guy, okay? I see kind of a dad joke colliding with a science joke there. Mrs. Dagley, fun guy? Okay, I'm sorry. I went there. I got a little slight smile from the science teacher back there. Not much of one, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But I'm not the guilt guy, okay? Not me. I'm the guy who wants to help you aim higher. The guy who wants to help you be more than, not less than. I don't mean I want to see you outdo your neighbor by that either. It's not a race. This one isn't. The life we're called to lead isn't a competition against each other to do more good or to do less bad. It's a call to seek him first. And that's our theme for the year. And I deeply appreciate that and embrace that theme and promise that if you seek him first, things are going to go well for you. Not perfectly, not easy, but ultimately things are going to go very well for you because you got things in the right order. You got him in the first place. It's always about your heart, okay? Proverbs 4:23 says, guard your heart above all else, for it determines the course of your life. We've all probably read that one before, but that is strong. My heart, what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, and what I say determines the course of my life. That's heavy and encouraging all at the same time, okay? Because I can feed my heart the right things. I try to do that. I encourage you to do that, but also know it starts right here. In my case, in this large space with a small brain, okay? It starts here. Getting this right will help you get this right. That's the order that it goes in. 2 Corinthians 10:5 says, we destroy every proud obstacle that keeps people from knowing God. We capture their rebellious thoughts and teach them to obey Christ. Another version says to take every thought captive. Grab it and deal with it. Sometimes embrace it, sometimes get rid of it. But don't let it deal with you. You're not responsible for things that pop into your head. That's my belief. You are responsible if you let things stay there. That one's on you. You know, if a bird flew in the window and landed on your head, that's not your fault. You would just get rid of that bird, okay? But then if I realize that the bird came in because I left a window open, then that's a little bit more on me. So I can go over there and shut that window and not leave an opening for the enemy. Feed your mind with good things, not the wrong things, because whatever you feed your mind, okay, will go to your heart. Right here is where the problems start, and right here is where we can stop them. Here's a prayer for you. 4 quick clauses for you to memorize, and I hope you'll take this one with you. God, show me you. Show me your way. I want to follow. Guard my heart. What I can promise is he will answer that prayer in the easy times and the hard times, but staying on that track is where you need to be. So confession time. This is real. Not proud of this, but Friday at the end of the first week of school, that's just 2 days, but I had a long week before that, okay? I was tired, and I know from past experience, that's a really good time for me to watch my mouth. Head, heart, mouth. I think my mouth has probably encouraged some people, helped some people, maybe inspired a person or two, and it's also humiliated. And I know it's cut some people to the core over the years. And I'm ashamed of that. I'm forgiven, but no matter how sorry you are, you don't get those words back. The damage is done. So keep it from coming out of your mouth. Now, I'm not rude. I'm not mean. Never have been. Really haven't. But when we walked into our neighborhood restaurant last Friday, I was certainly less than. Okay, I should have been at least even keel, preferably more than. But I showed up and I was definitely less than. Just a little abrupt to the hostess. Wasn't rude, but still, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy ever. Because that's not who God called me to be. Not to be perfect, but I want to love people big. I want to be more than. I don't mean more works. This isn't work salvation I'm talking about. I'm talking about showing love to everyone because of the God who loved me first. and so completely that he sent his son to pay for my sins, which are many. And it still staggers me to think about that incredible love. So on the way out, I tipped the hostess a nice little tip. I'd already tipped the waitress, of course. And my wife looked at me, grabbed me gently by the arm and said, I think I deserve a 20 for how you started the evening. And I said, well, darling, I'm sure you do. She didn't get one, but she did deserve one because she deserves much more. So you got a chance to love big this year, okay? Surprise people with that love. Seek the blesser, the blessor, and blessings will come. But seek him first. That's what we do. So I remember I was a long, long time ago in a land far away. I was a sophomore, and Ira was a senior. You might have noticed I'm not a small person, but on the football field that day, he hit me harder than I've ever been hit before or since. Not a dirty hit, a righteous hit. It just took me to the ground. And Ira was a big deal. And he was the quarterback, okay? Also free safety. Nominated for All-State. There are 250 high schools in my division, so it's a big deal when you get nominated for that. Fast forward to track season. So I left my spikes outside one day. Went to my locker one day, my spikes weren't there. So back in the day at my high school, if you left equipment outside, you got licks. I mean, there's probably a different term for it now. I don't know. But in our vernacular, that meant a large piece of wood was headed to your backside at a high rate of speed, swung by a coach with enthusiasm. There was no appeal process. There was no phoning home. Just, here it comes. Or he often didn't say that. So I knew what was about to happen. So I walked head down to the coach's office, walked in, saw my spikes there. I knew what was about to happen. But he just handed them to me. So I thought, oh, he forgot. So I took them, turned around to walk out. And then he said, aren't you going to ask me why you didn't get licks today? I said, yes, sir. And he said, well, Ira left his spikes outside yesterday too. And when I gave him his licks, he saw another pair of shoes over there. And he asked me whose they were, and I told him yours. He said, well, I'll take Craig's licks for him. I'll do that. So he took 3 hard swats, licks, almost a discus windup. You had to know this coach. He kind of flexed when he came at you. So, but I knew somebody loved me. And I didn't know it until then, specifically, okay? We were friends, casually, but, a senior back in the day was going to make it difficult on a sophomore until he earned his stripes. But I remember that day because I knew somebody loved me like a teammate, loved me like a friend. I had a friend at a level that I didn't know that I had. Can you be that friend to someone? I don't literally mean taking punishment for them, necessarily. Can you be happy, genuinely happy for a person, your friend, if they win the thing that you were trying to win? Okay, can you be that genuinely happy for someone? I wanted it. They got it. But I'm thankful. I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you, and I mean it. So after high school, I understand that Ira may have had some struggles. We all probably did. It's funny, on Facebook yesterday, which is social media for old people. I don't know if you've heard of it. I noticed it was his birthday. So I'm going to text him in a minute and tell him I told some stories about him to you. So saw him at a reunion 40 years later. And he coordinates transportation for a large school district in Texas. So he's got a key position there. I got 16 or 18,000 kids to get to school every day. So that's quite an exercise in coordination and work there. But what he told me was that he'd just gotten back from China, because I asked him what he was doing. I was going to do a heart check with him too. Just been to China to tell people the good news. Now, sacrifice and friendship for me aside, I did not see that one coming for Ira. Would not have scripted that for him. God will surprise you by how your friends turn out. The good way and the other way too. But I knew he was there, and I know that he's a kingdom person today, and that gives me a lot of joy. Ira is a large black man who really would stand out on the streets of China, quite sure. But he wasn't worried about that. He was there because he was on a mission. And I love that. I love him. God chose Ira for something special, and he's living a kingdom life now. And remember, you will have classmates who surprise you, good and bad. Love them all. Anyway, that's what you need to do. So let's seek first together. Love big and make it the best year ever at TCA. I hope that's true for you every single year you're here, that it just gets better and better. Seek him first, and you're in the right place to start with. I'm here for you. I'm here because of you. I really am. And I can't wait for the year ahead. So thank you for being here today. Sorry it wasn't Chris Smith. Let's pray together.